Hello, everyone. Welcome back to the show, Tip to Tea. I'm your host, Angie E., where we talk about everything from motivational, inspirational, and, of course, the tea. So tune in anytime on YouTube or Can TV to watch previous episodes. You don't want to miss it. Today, we have a very special show with a very special guest. He's an advocate in his community. He does a lot of motivational and inspiring things for his community. We want to welcome Evangelist Stephen Bingham. Today, we're going to talk about what he does in his community. And if you guys want to get in touch with him after what's and the closing of the show, we're going to get all his information if you want to reach out to him concerning what he does in his community. So let's dive a little bit into this. And thank you so much, Evangelist Bingham, for coming out to be on the show with me, Tip to Tea with Angie E. We want to talk a little bit more about what you do in your community. So I'm gonna just ask you a few questions, and you can just go along with me and answer. Okay? All right, y'all. Y'all don't want to miss this. Hey, if you guys are tuning in, call a friend, text a friend, inbox them, whatever, because we're doing a great show today. You guys do not want to miss this. This guy is really, God is using him in a very special way. He's doing a lot of positive things for the people in his community. You guys don't want to miss the show. So I'm telling you guys, you need to tune in and stay tuned in because he's going to go over some things with us, what he does in his community to help the people. Okay? All right, the first question I want to ask is what inspired you to do this?
Well, first of all, my nephew was a victim of gun violence in on the west side of Chicago in 1997, and that's what started it all.
Okay.
That I felt there's a need for something to be done about what was going on in the community,
Okay.
and like a lot of we need all hands on deck. We need
Absolutely.
the police officers' help. We need the church people help. We need the parents' help. We need everybody's help because this thing is really getting out of hand.
It really is. I totally agree with you too. How long have you been doing this?
Well, I want to say about a little over 20-something years.
Oh, that's amazing. That's good.
hmm
Okay, that's great. So, if you don't mind me asking, where are you guys located?
We're located on the west side of Chicago.
Okay.
Our headquarters is on Roosevelt Road, Roosevelt and Mason.
Okay. Okay. So, I didn't write this down, but I just want to. I'm curious for myself. I want to ask. So, do you just help the homeless people, or do you? What type of situation does a person have to be in for you guys to help them out or help them?
Well, we are number one advocate for nonviolence.
Okay.
But we help people that's struggling with drug addiction. We help people locate jobs. And we're just a resource center where a young person could come, obtain a trade. We direct them to the places that they need. If they need to go back to the school, if they need mental health, whatever they need, we try to meet the needs of the community.
Oh, that's good. So as long as they have any type of special need, as far as what about housing? Do you help people, some of the homeless people? Do you have a housing program?
Well, majority, like a lot of the people that's homeless, they have other issues going on,
Okay.
like substance abuse, alcoholism, and different stuff like that. And so
Okay.
our resources will help address them problems that they have going on first that may have caused them to be in the situation that they're in.
Okay.
And then, they can go from there. And say if they go into a treatment program, okay, after they finish treatment, some need long-term treatment,
Okay.
some need short-term treatment. But once they get themselves together, then they can make some moves on their own.
Okay. So what about, let me ask you, do you help people that was incarcerated and once they get out,
Yes,
do you
yes.
help them find homes or shelter or just jobs or?
Well, I know a guy that has an organization that deals with the formerly incarcerated.
Yes.
And what we do is direct people to just whatever they need. We direct them to exactly what they need.
Oh, that's wonderful. That's good. Okay, we go to our next question. How many people have you helped through your program so far?
Well, just recently, I have different organizations that work with me, and 5 guys that was former drug addicts and gang members got jobs, and they done been on these jobs for over a year now.
Okay, and so do you help men and women?
Men and women.
Okay.
We help several women get into treatment.
Okay, what about families? People like men and like a husband and wife, or that have children too.
Well, normally what happens is the husband is the head of the household, right? And then everything trickles down from that.
Yeah, that's
right?
true.
So once the husband gets some help, like the Bible said, if I get saved, my whole household shall get saved.
That's right.
See,
Yeah.
the moment that I make a decision to get better, everything around me get better.
Okay.
So we are target. We deal with him first.
Okay.
You know what I'm
Which
saying?
is like he is the head, and the woman is the foundation. Okay, that's good. Okay. So what was the outcome of some of the families? Like you said, did you say you normally help the fathers first, or the men 1st, and then once they get established and everything, and then they can bring their families along with them.
Well, that's normally how it goes, and but it started with him, because like they say, they had substance abuse problems, and they see the man take off and go into treatment.
Okay.
9 times out of 10, his spouse will follow him
Right.
into treatment.
Okay.
So now the family unit is being knit back together.
Okay, that's good. So let me ask you this, because I do get a lot of feedback and reviews, and I get a lot of questions and comments about domestic. Do you help families? And I'm being biased when I say this. I'm not saying man or woman starts the domestic, because it can go either way. But do you help people? Let me say this. Do you help them with anger problems? Sometimes people have these issues with anger. It could come from maybe from a childhood, and they hold on this. It could stem from that, and then they bring it along with the adolescent, into the adulthood, and so they sabotage a lot of like relationships, any relationships, with friendships, with family, along with maybe relationships as a man and wife, wife and husband, or boyfriend, girlfriend. And a lot of people don't realize that a lot of that comes from something that happened along the way. You know what I'm saying? So I guess my question is this: do you help people, man or woman, that have those anger issues
Yes.
that cause, oh,
Yes.
wow.
Well, see, what
Okay.
happened is this: once you get to the root of the problem.
Yeah.
See, you have to get
Yeah.
first to the root of the problem.
Okay.
And 9 times out of 10, when somebody gets angry, it's like this is the remote control.
Right.
I give you the remote to control my feelings and emotions. So what I teach people is to hold on to your remote. Don't give someone the remote to control your feelings and emotions. And you never act out in anger. The Bible says that anger rests in the bosom of a fool. That you can get angry,
Yeah.
but you don't have to
Sin
act
not.
out.
Right.
You don't have to act out on your anger.
Absolutely.
And then it's a two-sided street, because sometimes the female is the aggressor. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
that's what I agree.
And the guy is the victim. But the same thing that applies to him applies to her.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? She got to learn how to keep her remote to control her own feelings and emotions. Like somebody will say, oh, look what you made me do. Or you made me go off like that. Or you made me. No. You just keep your remote and learn how to control your own feelings and emotions. And it makes you feel a lot better.
Right.
In the heat of the moment, knowing that you kept your remote, you don't have to worry about going to jail, for one.
That's right.
You don't have to worry about somebody getting seriously hurt, for 2.
Right.
And then it makes you feel better that you don't respond to every situation with violence. And that's another point. That's what's going on in the community today.
Absolutely. Yeah.
The chemical that's being sprayed on the marijuana,
Yeah.
all different kind of drugs is put into a pill, and then you put that with alcohol, and then you give somebody a gun. It's out of control.
Absolutely.
Right. So what's got to happen? The parents got to be like parenting their children.
Oh yeah.
They have to. They have to. They have to. They have to monitor what they're doing on the internet.
Absolutely.
They have to. They have to do random shakedowns. They have to see what's up under the little Jimmy's pillow, because it seems like he ain't doing nothing. But these people we're talking about is 11, 12, and 13 years old that's doing the carjacking. That's doing all the kind of shooting and everything. And but you would never be able to convince a parent that they child, because they don't monitor what they're doing.
Absolutely.
And 90% of it comes from some kind of internet beef.
Yeah.
They having beefs on the internet, because during my time, I would have to wait till I see you.
Yeah.
But now you can just go on social media and just start a beef with somebody.
Absolutely.
You can start start something. So then when they see each other in person, automatically they begin to shoot. Automatically they was already ready for that.
Yeah.
About some verse in a rap song, about what you said about this block or that block. You know what I'm saying? So the parents got to play a part in this too. And then my organization, we go out on the street and evangelize, because the Bible says that we perish because of lack of knowledge.
That's right.
That's the knowledge of the Holy Spirit. You got to become God conscious. If you're God conscious, then there's certain stuff that you're just not going to do. You're not going to just start shooting at no little kid.
Right.
You're not going to, over 300 and some young adults, women, young ladies were shot this year alone, and it just got started.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? The summertime is going to be way much more, so we have to get started now. We don't want to wait till the summer.
Yeah.
We want to get started now and give people a different sedative. You know what I'm saying? That having a job work, going to school work. It's cool to be intelligent.
Yeah.
You know, if you just got to fight out with your dukes.
Yeah.
You know, like we used to do back in the day, you fight out with your dukes.
That's
you don't have to go get a gun and kill somebody's mama or kill somebody's relative that you don't even have a beef with.
Right. Don't have nothing to do with it.
So
Though
what I found out, a lot of these people they won't come to the church.
Yeah.
So we have to bring the church to the street. You know what I'm saying?
That's true.
And God is going to use a different kind of people now. You know what I'm saying? You know they can't relate. They can't relate to somebody that they don't look like they can relate to. But they can relate to somebody like me because I look like street. So they relate to somebody that's from where they're from.
Yes.
That they can identify with what they're going through. That I can show you how you can get some money without illegally. I can show you how to get you a job and get your life together and make your mother and father proud of you. You know what I'm saying? And let you know, most of all, that somebody care about you.
Absolutely. Yeah, that's one of the things that I did a lot of research before, because last season I had a show about senseless violence, and because I'm from Chicago, in the city of Chicago, so I love my city, and Chicago is a beautiful city. It's just some of the us that's in this in the city that makes it the way it is. Okay,
Absolutely.
So I'm doing anything I can and everything so that I can be of some help to try to make it better, Chicago a better place to live, to raise children. I'll just share a little bit of a story with me. In 1994, I grew up on the west side of Chicago in K-Town on 18th and Carlos. Shout out to you guys out there in K-Town. And it wasn't a bad place to live, but I think it was middle in the 90s and the 80s back then. It was okay. When I grew up there, I've seen some things. I've been through some stuff because I was out there too. I'm not going to lie. The Bible said that the people overcome for your testimony. You got to testify these things.
You overcome the devil by the blood of the Lamb and by the words of our testimony.
There you go. Thank you, brother Evangelist. And so what I did was I grew up there, and I've been through a lot, and I've seen a lot, and I've did a lot. So I don't try to sugarcoat anything because my life wasn't always, well, anyway, I did some stuff too out there. And so when I was out there, I have 4 children. 1994, I moved to the suburbs, surrounding suburban area. My children didn't understand that then. They was young, and they was so angry. Mom, why did you move us out here? We leaving our friends. I said, you'll hate me now, but you'll love me later. I said, and it's for your safety. And so when they all grown up now, and now they see. And I told them, I said, it's so sad to say that my city, Chicago, is not a place to raise children. I'm just saying, it's really not nowadays. Even when I got out of it, I got out of there in 1994. I never looked back. I have family still in Chicago on the west side. We visit all the time, but I would never want to stay there. And here's the reason. The reason why, of course, the violence. You're kind of afraid, to go back, and that's sad, But like you were saying too, it starts sometimes with the parents.
Absolutely.
It does.
Absolutely. What I found out also is that's why God saved people like me. That's not afraid.
Yeah.
That's not afraid
Good.
to go to the street with the gospel.
That's
That's
good.
not afraid to tell them, what's going on, pull your pants up, these kind of things. And oftentimes I got a positive response, okay, old school, and they pull up their pants. Because they know I don't mean no disrespect.
Right.
I mean respect.
Absolutely.
And it's a shame that these people have been working all their life just to be able to to enjoy their house and sit on the porch. And they can't sit on the porch because of the random shooting.
Yeah.
They can't sit on they can't enjoy life itself. I know one young lady, all of her kids was killed through gun violence.
Ooh,
Every last one of her kids. Then it trickled down, even her grandkids.
Oh, wow.
Even her grandkids.
Ooh,
and every day that somebody that get killed, it's somebody that I know. So people have to, get out of the comfort zone. You know what I'm saying? Is that okay, yeah, sure. I have a better life now that I don't do drugs. I have a better life now that I'm not in a gang. I have a better life now that I preach the word of God, right? But he did everything for me for something.
Right. So
and
you
it's
could
for
give
me
back.
to come back.
That's right.
And for me to
give
come back and reach out to the community.
Yeah.
And what I'm challenging OGs to do is come back. And come back and tell somebody.
Yes.
Hey man, that's not right. That's what you're doing. It's not right.
Yeah.
But everybody is terrified.
Oh, yeah.
The teachers is terrified of the students. Their mothers is terrified, even in their own house, of their children.
Oh, yeah.
It's a dangerous situation. But we have a mentorship that they could call and get mentorship for their child. For men and women, young ladies, whatever they're going through. Because all they need is, like I said before, is to know somebody care and direct them to where I can make money at without being on the block. Would direct me to get a job. Because a lot of these kids will work. But they don't think nobody care. They don't think ain't nobody going to help them. How am I going to tell you, stop selling drugs, and I don't have no other means for you to get no money?
Absolutely.
How can I tell you to stop selling drugs?
Yeah.
How can I tell you every so many years they come out with something different, a different kind of drug to attack that certain generation? Okay, they know these young kids is not going to smoke no crack. They know they're not going to do no heroin. So they put all of that stuff that they know they're not going to do into a pill. And so when they pop the pill, they're getting all of the stuff that they use for generations before them. So they got to understand what is taking place, and give them a God conscious. Because with a God conscious, you're not going to do certain things. So you're not like you see somebody walking with their kid, they're gonna get a pass. You see somebody with their mother, they're going to get a pass because they got a God conscience. But what you're seeing is people without a God conscience, without a God conscience, that see you with your mama, or see you like the teenager, the young girl that got killed at the McDonald's on Kedzie and Madison. They was expecting it was somebody else in the backseat, but it wasn't. It was his child. And so they just shot up the back seat, but it was a child in there. See, that wouldn't take place. That wouldn't take place. So everybody, if people want the violence to stop, everybody got to do something.
Everybody, I agree with that. Everybody has everybody has to, put in something, put in some work. That's why I was saying that was the next thing I was going to ask you about the mentorship. I was working with another organization. Matter of fact, out here in the Aurora area, we were talking about what could we do to start mentorship for for the young people, for the youth out here. I think that a lot of the young people call it, the old schoolers, get out here. If you made it, if you was out here in the streets and you made it out, why not get a hold to some of these young men, young women out here and grab them, take them under your wings and,
That's right.
and show them the way and
That's
even
right.
instill God in them. A lot
That's
of them
right.
want to know God.
That's right.
But they don't have no source or resource to get there. A lot of them don't want to go to church. So that's why I'm saying a lot of the churches need to come out of the, no disrespect for the church members and pastors and stuff. But, the Bible said go out to the highways and the hedges and compel the people of God. So a lot of times people don't want to go and sit in the churches. They need somebody to come outside of the church walls and talk to like y'all doing. Go out into the highways and the hedges.
Well,
and
what happens is this. You got to understand, they have a reason to be afraid. Okay, but God got some people that's not afraid.
Oh yeah,
Guys
absolutely.
like me that's not afraid. All I'm saying is that the church have a place, right? And they doing their thing in the church by praying, doing their thing in the church by fasting. They're doing a part.
Oh,
They doing a part,
No
just
doubt.
like the police department. They're doing a part. But we have a part. And if God put it on anybody's heart,
Yeah.
don't just, if you're not going to do nothing, don't say nothing. If you're not going to do nothing about the violence, don't say nothing about the violence.
Absolutely.
Don't wait till it hit your doorstep. Then now.
And then now you wanna do something,
I can't
right.
believe,
Yeah.
No, let's stop it before it happens.
Absolutely.
And that's what
Absolutely.
we're trying to do. And once we get a community center, by the time somebody come there that ain't got nowhere to go, nothing to do, by the time they leave there, they're going to be going to sleep because they're going to be tired. They're going to be tired from playing basketball
Yeah.
or doing different positive things, studio rapping, long as it ain't about no violence.
Yeah.
These kind of things.
Yeah.
We just need the resources to make all this stuff happen.
Yes. And sometimes I talk to a lot of them. I go back to the city when I'm out there. I talk to some of them. I pull some of them to the side. Pull your pants up, young man.
That's
You know,
right.
you're really, you look like you're an intelligent young man. You don't need to be walking around here with your pants hanging down and stuff like that. Pull your pants up. You look like you're a respectful young man. And do you know they listen to, they need to hear stuff like that.
See,
you know?
it's a fad. It's like different fads come on. And the moment you see a rapper with his pants down, then all of a sudden they want their pants down.
Right.
When I used to speak at the Cook County Jail, I used to go out there and speak, and I asked how many people, by show of hands, wear your pants down like that. And 90% of them raised their hand. And then I said, how many know
Where they come from.
why and where it come from? And so after I explained to them where it came from, then I said, well, would you?
What did you tell them?
I told them that it came from in prison, somebody that was trying to make themselves say that they was available for a sexual encounter, wore their pants down, and
Wow.
that's what it was.
Good. That's
what
they
it
need
was.
to know that because
They need the information.
That's
and so
very
what happened is,
informative. Yeah.
what happened is, I asked how many people knew that. I got a large response, but they still, when they was leaving out, I seen them still. It didn't change. It didn't change anything, right? But what's got to happen though is that the first thing you have to have self-respect.
Absolutely.
Okay, all right. It seemed like it's always an outrage when the police is doing something to us, or it's always an outrage when another race is doing something to us.
Right.
Where is the outrage, the same outrage, when we're doing us? You know what I mean? It have to be the same level at outrage. If I don't care what color it is. If it's a kid, it's a kid.
Yes, right.
But it needs to be the same outrage about this 6-year-old. You You know what I'm saying? That the police accidentally shot. Now we outraged. But they got to be outraged if I don't care if you look just like them. If you hurt this little kid, it's supposed to be an outrage in the community. And in order for the blocks, the gangs is in blocks now. You know, it's this block versus this block. They all could be the same thing, but it's one block against the next block. But it's some OGs. It's some OGs on them blocks too that need to come out the closet.
Come on.
They need to come out the closet and say something.
Yeah.
Hey man, this is my mama house.
That's right.
Hey man, don't do this around my mama house.
That's right.
Hey, that's my daddy. Been working all his life. Don't take his car. You know what I'm saying? Hey man, we love you and we care about you. What problem are you having? We got some resources to help you. You know what I'm saying? And just come to them correct. If you come to them correct, you'll get a correct response. You'll get a correct response. And then after you get through talking, then tell them about God. Then you ease God in that and let them know what changed your life. It was God. You know what I'm saying? It's God that got me on your show right now.
Praise
you know what I'm saying?
God. To God be the glory.
Yeah, it ain't me.
Yeah.
It's God that showed me a different way to live.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And I like it. It's way much better. I'm talking about it's super better.
Yes, sir.
You know, and so once somebody get the idea that, okay, see, it's acceptable now. The killing and the gun violence that got so acceptable, it ain't nothing. It's a norm. Okay, we turn on the news right now, and a 3-year-old got shot by a stray bullet. It's a norm.
Yeah.
It's a norm. The little kids can't even play TikTok. Can't even play TikTok by the window, scared of a bullet going in there.
Yeah.
So these are the things that motivated me that this can't happen. Yeah. I was in a church and we was clapping and we was shouting and everything, but I didn't see no young folks in there. So God told me you need to be where they at. It was just for me. I'm not saying there's anything wrong with that because I shout and dance in church myself. But my mission is to come out and tell somebody about the God that turned my life around.
That's good.
That he could turn anybody's life around.
That's right. That is amazing. I love your testimony. It's so great to hear that your life was once in shambles.
Absolutely.
But now look at God.
Absolutely.
It's amazing to hear those things and hear situations that was turned around through God. That's amazing. I was once told about, what do you think about this? Now this is not me. This is some stuff that I've heard, and I kind of did some research. Back in the day, in our day, I'll say, because I think we've kind of around the same age. We come from the same little stuff.
It's all right. It's okay.
Okay, well, that's all right. But I remember back in the 80s and the 90s, remember, and don't quote me. I don't know nothing about gangs. I'm not trying to quote no gang laws or nothing like that. Okay. But I remember because I used to hang out with them. And I remember back then they had chiefs and every gang had a position to play. And I remember back in those days, if you shoot a little kid or somebody innocent or old person, you get violated.
Absolutely.
Okay, so now from what I'm hearing, that this thing came up called the RICO law, and they was getting those that say if you're a certain gang member, you live in a whole nother state, but you the chief of all of these. I heard that they start pulling all the leaders. If I did something and killed somebody, you my chief. So you don't even know me, but we riding under the same thing, right? But they'll come get you because you the leader and you got to do time.
Well, you got
so
that.
they stopped. Okay, so they stopped that, right? So now it's like everybody just out, just doing whatever they want to, killing kids, whatever, innocent people. You know what I'm saying? But go ahead. You was on point with everything you said, right? But what happened was they took all the gang leaders, they rounded up the gang leaders and locked them up. Okay, so they felt as though if you kill the head, the body was going to die. But that's not what happened. The body mutated into little sections, and then them sections was fighting against the other sections, right? Okay. And you're also correct about what you said, that the old leaders that's former, they're not gangbanging no more. Because of that law, was afraid to get involved. They get involved with what was going on because they didn't want to be tied to it or arrested for it, right? But now
the city is desperate now.
Okay.
They desperate now. So they needed they wanted to stop. They don't care who helped now. If you're really helping. If you're really helping, they don't care who it is because they don't have an answer. They don't have an answer to the question. And the answer to the question is Jesus first.
Yeah.
And then some resources.
Yes.
Jesus and some resources, right? To get
right.
get them involved in some different activity other than what they involved in. They excited about purchasing an automatic weapon on the internet and putting some switches on it where it can shoot a bunch of times. You know what I'm saying? That's what they're excited about now, right? They're not excited about education. That when I was a little shorty, when I grew up, I want to be a fireman. I want to be a policeman. I want to be a doctor.
Come on.
Now these youngsters want to be a gangster.
Come on.
They want to be a hitter. You know what I'm saying? They want to kill somebody.
Camps and stuff. I've heard.
So what happens is, happens is now is that we got to re-innovate. They got to re-innovate themselves. You know what I'm saying? It's something positive. You know what I'm saying? We have to be able to show them something positive. I know some guys that did a lot of time in prison that will speak to a youth and touch his soul. They let them know that, see, what you're doing here, you're going to end up where I was at.
Come on.
With 25 to life. You know what I'm saying? That you're going to, once you get through with all the shooting, when you got to face the responsibility for what you did, it'll drive you crazy. So they have to know what's on the other side of the bullets, what's on the other side of pulling the trigger. You know, and like you said before, is that if in those days, if you had a hit on you, you couldn't come back saying you hit the wrong person. Or you hit a little kid, or you hit somebody else, because then you got hit yourself. But those principles is out the window now. Because once you put a combination of that weed, the pill, and some alcohol, and a gun, you got a dangerous person. You know what I mean? So the substance abuse have to be addressed.
Yes.
The mentality got to be addressed. And then some mamas got to stop trying to be their friend and be their mama.
Think about it.
A daddy got to stop being just somebody we cool with, go drink beers and no. You got to be an investigator.
Come on.
Check up under their mattress. Check up under their pillow. Eavesdrop on their conversations. See who they talking to. See who they hanging out with. See what they doing on the internet. Look on it to see what's going on. And then a lot of this stuff gonna cease.
Yeah.
Right? The internet play a major part.
Yes, it does.
A major part in what's going on.
Oh, yeah.
So that would be a job for you right now to honor to monitor the internet. When they hear some violence going on, when they hear somebody beefing, you know what I'm saying? See, then we would have an opportunity to squash it.
Right.
Before they see each other on the street and kill each other.
That's right.
You know what I'm saying? You know, you just can't be willy-nilly now. It's too many people dying.
Yeah.
It's too many people dying, and so this is why I was motivated. I was motivated to do this. You know what I'm saying? I have some certificates for community service and community outreach and stuff like that. But what good is that if you ain't stopping nobody from being killed?
That's true.
What good is that if you're not helping nobody with no resources, no jobs, no substance abuse, no counseling, no nothing? Them titles don't mean nothing. You know what I'm saying? A bishop of who?
Man.
What are you doing? You know what I'm saying? What are you doing? You know, so it started with the parents. It started with us in the community. You know, you have a nephew, a cousin, a brother, somebody you could talk to.
Yeah.
And lead them on in the right direction. You know what I'm saying? If you just save one person.
That's right.
You did a whole lot.
You did a whole lot.
If you save one person that was a hitter.
Man.
Now he don't want to be a hitter no more.
That's right.
It's gonna trickle down to his friends. And they know he was a hitter, and now he ain't a hitter no more. Saved, sanctified, and filled with the Holy Ghost.
That's right.
You know what I'm saying? And he got a job. He's not selling weed no more. You know what I'm saying? He's doing something positive. He's trying to raise his family.
That's good.
You know, to have some different values. You know what I'm saying? But they got to see something different.
Yeah.
If they don't see nothing different, they ain't gonna do nothing different.
Or being taught.
Yeah.
And that's a great topic. What you just said. That was great. Let's talk about the parents being parents and stop being our children's friends and grandchildren. That's a great. I was just talking to another young lady about that, and she's a young lady, and we were talking about her children, and she was saying how she let them stay up to 2 and 3 in the morning. We're talking 5 and 7-year-olds. And I said, well, what about school? Don't they have to go to school? She said, oh, they do remote learning. Okay, if they do remote learning, don't that start at a certain time? She goes, yeah, but I mean, it's okay. They seem like they do better when they stay up. I said, but a child has to get a certain amount of sleep in order for their brain to function right. Okay, am I right?
Yeah.
And so I was letting her know that. But sometimes even what I'm getting to is us as seasoned women we can pull on to these younger girls that has children and try to teach them how to be more, not saying a better mother, but at least put some restraints on your children and stop being their friend. And I'm listening to her how she talking to the 7-year-old. They arguing back with each other.
Right. They don't have
arguing back and forth, and the 7-year-old telling her what she not gonna do,
Right.
and the mother was saying, well then, the mother seemed like it turned into the child, and the child was the mother. So
Right.
so she reasoned with the kid, telling her, so well then, if you don't want to do it this way, then I'll help you, and she gave in to that, and I said no. I said, can I intervene? She said sure. I said, first off, you don't give in to it. You tell the child what to do and stand on that.
That's right.
I say, that's a 7-year-old. Well, if I say something, she'll try to hit at me. Wait a minute. Hold on. I said, hit you? She said, yeah. I said, 7 years old? I said, okay, so you don't get a belt? Oh, no. The DCFS will get in. DCFS can't tell you how to raise your children. Okay, so we're gonna go to the commercial. When we come back from this commercial, we got to finish talking about this because this is a great topic, and I'm glad that we start to talk about this. So if you are if you still tuned in, we're talking about we got Evangelist Stephen Bingham on the show today, and we're talking about what his organization does about helping and serving in his community. You don't want to miss it. Stay tuned. We'll be back. This is Angie E. for Tip to Tea. Welcome back to the show, Tip to Tea. I'm your host, Angie E., where we talk about everything from motivational, inspirational, and of course, the tea. Thank you for tuning in. Right now, we're back from the commercial break. I am talking to Evangelist Stephen Bingham today. We're talking about what he does in his community and how he has set a positive, really a great role model for his community. So we're going to go back in and dive back in here. We were talking about before we went to the commercial break how parents is kind of afraid of their children. So we're going to talk more about that. Before we left, we talked about a young lady that I know has a 5 and a 7-year-old, and how she was allowing the 7-year-old to take over the household. Wow. That's
Okay.
crazy.
Well, see, when I was coming up, all my mother would have to do is give me a certain look.
Man.
Like I couldn't,
Yes.
I didn't have to. She didn't have to actually do nothing.
Yeah.
Just give me that look, like
Yes.
in the
And
store,
we knew.
anywhere we at,
Yes.
give me that look. But like I said, what happened is people want to be more cool with their child. They don't want to upset them.
Yeah.
And like if they sleep, if the children is on the internet, this where all the stuff is going on because ain't nobody monitoring them. Ain't nobody monitoring the Snapchat. They beefing with people that may shoot up mom's house. You know what I'm saying? So you have to be eavesdropping on them. You got to monitor what they're doing.
Absolutely.
You know what I'm saying?
I totally agree.
And take back control. You know what I'm saying? It may be laws. You got to come into a new you. You got to come in with a new you. You're not going to be a gangster in my house.
Come on.
You know what I'm saying? And I'm feeding you. And you
And
eating my
sheltering you.
food.
That's right.
And I'm paying the bills. And I'm afraid in my own house. That's not going to happen.
I know that's right.
That's not going to happen.
That's right.
You're going to get some help or you're going to get out.
That's right.
You're going to do what you need to do. And I'm going to do what I need to do. Right?
Yes.
And they say that sounds kind of harsh. But that's the reality now. That's the reality now.
Let me ask you this. You know, they have this saying now, they say, you got to show tough love. What do you think about that saying?
Well, I think tough love it goes to an extent. Okay, I have a son who's currently in prison, right? Before he got to that situation, he had every opportunity to go to college. He had opportunity for treatment. He had opportunity to have his own finance. He had every opportunity that someone could have. He chose not to take the advice. He chose that he didn't want the help. You know, he was just rebelling. Okay, and I understood where he was coming from because he had some resentments, and I understood that. I understood that, right? But getting past those, see, a resentment only hurt the person that have it. It's like you pissing on yourself and expect somebody else to feel wet or to stink. That's not going to happen.
Right.
So resentment only hurt the person that got it.
Right.
And so I was telling him, I said, man, you know, you headed to prison. You're headed to prison. And that's where you end up going, to prison. But now I got some programs and different stuff lined up for him.
That's good.
That when he can get out, he can start off through a halfway house.
Yeah.
He can start off through treatment and find out first what got you in prison in the first place.
Yeah.
If you don't figure that out, you're going to go back to prison again. You got to figure out what was the number one cause that got me in prison, that got me in this situation. And once he realized that, and he able to address the problem then, you know, and then I'm going to be there to help him.
That's good.
Yeah.
That's really good. Wow. That's amazing. And that's good that he has a father, you know, that he can go to and talk to, and like you said, and lead him, try to get him back on the right path when you try to in the first place. But, you know, sometimes children, they don't want to listen. They feel like we don't know.
But the tough love you was talking about is not tolerating no disrespect.
Absolutely
See,
not.
you got to get to a place that I'm not going for that.
That's right.
I'm not going for that. He used to ask me all the time, said, man, you extra. He said,
Yeah.
man, you real extra.
Yeah.
Everybody wear their pants down up on it. So I said, well, just be honest with me. Are you gay? He said, no, what do you mean? I said, because that's where that came from. So why, I say, you can't represent that in here.
That's right.
As for me and my house, we're going to serve the Lord.
That's
So
right.
if you don't want, if I bought the pants,
That's right.
okay, you're going to have to pull them up.
That's right.
If you bought them, then I guess you could go and do your thing. But if I bought them, if you got on my pants, you're going to have them pulled up. That's
right.
it, that's all. So I don't know what he was doing outside, but when he come across the threshold, they was pulled up.
They pull them up. That's right.
They was pulled up.
Because you stood
and,
on
and
them.
he understand. It's just when you get to a person could be a good kid.
Yeah.
When you start experimenting with different drugs and smoking this and smoking that, you're not the same good kid that I know. You're on something else. And so the moment that a parent see that, they got to direct them to some help. That's the love.
Yeah.
Don't just sit there and let them go crazy, smoking some stuff gonna drive them, that they ain't gonna come back from.
Come on now.
No, that's when the parent got to step in. No, you ain't gonna do this up in here. And call somebody.
Yeah.
Call God Love Matters.
Come on. Ooh.
Seek some intervention. Seek some intervention for your children. You know what I'm saying? Don't let them just take over your house.
Absolutely.
How you gonna run the house at 2? Because the baby get to crying, you give in to the baby.
Yeah.
Okay, so you know what he gonna be like at 12?
Yeah.
If he was running the house at 2. Okay.
Just imagine what he look like. What he gonna be doing at 12 years old? My God.
No, so that can't.
He done been to put the parents out the house.
That can't happen. That can't happen. So the parents got a major role in that.
Absolutely.
Because you think that those kids that's out there doing the shooting ain't got no parents. But 9 times out of 10, the parents don't know that they're out there shooting. They don't know that. But then some parents are stupid enough to buy a boy a gun.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. What you want for Christmas? An AR, what they call it?
AR-9,
AR-15. An AR-15.
Yeah.
That's what I want for Christmas. And he ain't all the way wrapped too tight, but you're going to give him an AR-15. A parent. A parent, right?
Wow.
So a lot of this happens where the church got to talk about these issues that we're talking about.
Absolutely.
The church got to, and the parents got to do their part.
I agree.
And we can stop some of the violence.
Yes.
You can stop your son from ending up with life in prison. You can stop your son from getting murdered in the street.
Come on now.
To stay away from the internet beef.
Yes.
Stay away from that.
Yeah.
Do you see them beefing on the internet? It ain't about nothing. They're not. The beef is not even about nothing. But I'm willing to see you and shoot.
Oh yeah. Or they bullying.
Yeah.
On the internet. That's another big.
But if the parents is monitoring that,
yeah,
that
won't
ain't
even
right.
happen. Absolutely.
You got to get off of that.
Yeah. One more thing before we get ready to close out. I remember when my children was younger, and my boys started to become preteens, and I knew I wasn't crazy. I said, y'all was smoking? No. And then I said, let me look at your fingertips.
Right.
And they'd be looking, and I'd be like, oh, okay. I said, why are your fingertips so dark? Well, I got this one son. He gonna lie. He try to lie his way out of everything. Oh my God, this boy. Yeah, he gonna tell me. Yeah, tell me something. I was just outside. I was picking up rocks and throwing the rocks. And I said, boy, you ain't been out no outside. I've been here looking right here. Like, oh no, that was yesterday. I mean, it's like he would try to lie. I said, you know what? Now you're gonna get a whooping because see now you lie. I said, now your other brother, he went on and told the truth. He said, yeah, Ma, I smoked a little weed with, they were about 10. I said, but I'm not whooping you because you did tell the truth, but you're still getting it. You gonna get it twice because you gonna get it twice because you lied, and I know you were smoking weed.
But that's good parenting.
So, but see, I was a young mom. No, I really didn't know, but what I was doing, but I had God's help, and He showed me how to raise them boys. See, I had to be tough. I had 3 boys to raise and 1 daughter, but with them boys, I had to be really, really tough. And I had to kind of play the both role. But I told him, I said, I'm your mother. I can't show you how to be a man because I'm not a man. Now that's your father's job, but I'm gonna do what a mother's supposed to do. And I meant I was trying to raise them to, number one, respect your elders. I don't care how old you are. you gonna respect your elders. And to this day, one of them 40, but they're gonna say yes sir, yes ma'am, and they're gonna be like, can I help you with something? If they see somebody struggling on a cane or whatever, they're gonna stop and help them. And I thank and praise God for that. You know what I'm saying? So that's another thing. To these parents out here, you all cannot be your children's friends. It's okay. I'll take that back. You could be a friend to a certain extent, but know where to draw the line. You cannot allow those kids to cross that line. Okay, now I'm in friend mode, but now you know when I'm in mother mode or I'm in parent mode. Don't come at me cussing. You can't come, because you know what I'm saying? Because sometimes kids they'll try you.
That's how they talk.
Yeah.
See, that's how they
And
talk.
talk that Ebonic stuff. My grandson come at me doing all this. I said, wait, what is that? And who you think you doing that to? He told me, man, you be tripping it out. Hold on. You ain't talking to your mother. And he straightened up real quick. And he just started laughing. He said, Grandma, my dad told me one time that you used to be in the gang. I said, mm-hmm. And you'll get a gang butt whooping. Because I'm not going to play with you.
That's right.
But that's tough love. That's showing them real love.
That's it.
But I'm not going to let you cross the line to disrespect me.
That's right.
So
That's right.
all I'm saying is to these parents out here, make sure you are a parent and don't let a child try to turn and reverse it and make you out of the child and they're the parent. That's all I'm saying. Thanks for watching this episode. This is Tip to Tea with Angie E. I would like to thank my special guest for coming a long way to be here on the show to share his story. We want to thank you so much. Shout out to Dream Bear Productions. Thank you again for letting me have this opportunity with Tip to Tea with Angie E. We're going to get ready to close out the show. If you want to get in touch with our special guests, we're going to do so before we absolutely close the show. But we want to thank Evangelist Stephen Bingham again for coming out to being on the show today. If they want to get in touch with you, is there a way? No problem. Is there a way, are you on social media? Do you have an email address where they can email you or for your organization?
Yes.
Just please share and look in the camera and share with the
It's www.godslovematter. You should be seeing a flyer. You just scan the code, and it'll give you the phone number and everything else.
Yeah. Thank you. Like I said, thanks again for coming out to be
And
on
thanks
the
for having me.
No problem. It was an honor. This was a very great show. I thank you for sharing with us about your organization. I think that a lot of us or a lot of organizations should come forth to try to help our communities. Really, this is really something that's really needed, and this is very serious.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay, with that being said, we're going to close out. Thank you so much. We're going to try and get Evangelist Stephen Bingham to come back on the show for part 2, guys, for a part 2 segment.
I love to.
Okay. All right. Thank you so much for watching. This is Tip to Tea with Angie E. Don't forget to watch this episode. It will be edited soon. Shout out to my great producers. Yay, in the house. Thank you so much. And with that being said, if you or anyone you know in the Chicagoland area would like to join me on the show, or if you have an interesting topic you would like to discuss, come on out and be my special guest. Let's tip the tea. For more details about the show, you can go to my YouTube channel, type in my name, Angela Eskridge Hutchison. Yeah. But anyway. For more details about the show, you can go to my YouTube channel. Don't forget, tune in next Monday. We're going to have a great topic again. So I'm not going to tell you guys yet. It's going to be a surprise. Just tune in and you'll know. All right. Thank you for watching. This is Tip to Tea. I'm Angie E. Thank you.